Hey, how's everybody doing today? More ramblings from a short, fat, bald guy. Yesterday on my Facebook page, I asked for some suggestions for something for me to discuss. Uh, Most of them I've addressed in previous videos or posts, and so I didn't think it was really necessary. One of the things that came up from my friend Troy. He said something about the Olympic Committee changing the U.S. flag. Now, I got to be honest, I didn't know anything about this. It was like, I'll look into it. I don't know anything about it. I got online, and of course, what I find is a broadcast from Sean Hannity about how the Olympic Committee, U.S. Olympic Committee, wants to change the team logo for Team USA in 2024. Okay, there's the first key. It's team logo. It's not the U.S. flag. A likeness of the flag is part of the logo, but it's not the U.S. flag. Something that most of you probably don't know is the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Committee takes absolutely no federal funds from the U.S. government. They don't take any money from the U.S. government and never have, unlike some other countries that participate in the Olympics. And they design a logo every time there's an Olympics. So 2020, which is now 2021, you have a logo. And this is that logo. As you can see, United States Olympic team has a flag, not a correct representation of our current flag, and the 5 rings for the U.S. Olympic team. All right. The 2024 suggested logo is this. It is a red, white, and blue flag, not a correct representation of the U.S. flag, the Olympic rings, and their logo for the Paris Olympics. Now, again, team logo, not the U.S. flag, as so many of you people out there are hollering about, because that's the way it was portrayed on a news channel, of which Sean Hannity is a part. I guess I've got a couple of questions for all of you that are so offended by this. First off, I'm wearing an Under Armour shirt. This is the back of my Under Armour shirt. Obviously not a correct representation of a U.S. flag, but it is a U.S. flag like. It's a logo. The other thing I have a question for is, are all of you that are offended by this possible change in the 2024 team logo offended by the Budweiser cans, which are red, white, and blue, but are not a correct representation of the U.S. flag? It's a logo. Even further along, I have questions, and this one really is for Troy, as he's the one that brought this up. Are we offended by this? This is not the U.S. flag. This is thin blue line flag. Blue lives matter, and they do, absolutely. Does this flag offend you? Because guess what? It's not a U.S. flag. It's a logo. This is a representation of the U.S. flag with a thin blue line logo. How about the thin red line for the firefighters? Are we offended by that? Again, a representation of the U.S. flag with a thin red line, because technically it's a logo. It is not the U.S. flag. And here's even the better one. It has military, law enforcement, firefighter, dispatch, corrections, and EMS and rescue. Are we offended by this? Somehow I'm going to think that we aren't, because this is not a U.S. flag. We all know what the U.S. flag looks like. Red and white stripes, blue field, white stars or silver stars, depending on how it's put together, to represent the 50 states. Now, that being said, what the U.S. Olympic Committee wants to do is update the logo for the U.S. team in 2024 with a different type of flag. Nobody's throwing a fit about the fact that the current logo doesn't have a current flag. It doesn't have 50 stars on it. It has 13. It's not the current U.S. flag. But nobody's throwing a fit about that. They're throwing a fit about the one that Sean Hannity and Fox News has brought out. And, long and short of it, it's a logo. It is not the U.S. flag. The U.S. Olympic Committee is not going to change the U.S. flag. However, on the Team USA logo, they can do whatever they want. They are not federally funded. It's the Team USA logo. So they can do what they want. I suggest all of you that are in an uproar about the changing of the flag by the U.S. Olympic Committee, go out and look at past Team USA logos. Very seldom, if ever, do you see a current representation of the flag for that time. So, long and short of it, I went out, everybody's in an uproar, and I thought, man, how can that be? How can the U.S. Olympic Committee change a U.S. flag? Well, they aren't. They're changing the flag that's on their logo. Maybe. This is another instance of the media, Sean Hannity, getting people fired up about something that is a non-discussion item. I'm helping because I'm discussing it, but like I said, Under Armour, that is not a U.S. flag. Anybody upset by that? I don't think you are. That's all I got for today. I hope you enjoy this ramblings of a short, fat, bald guy. I ask that you all please go out, share your thoughts, but try to be polite. I mean, that's all it takes. And I realize sometimes that's really hard. But you know what? It's a logo. It isn't the U.S. flag. And here's the other deal. Someday the U.S. flag will change. And we're going to have to deal with that. We all want the 50 stars and stripes. What are we going to do when there's 51 states or 52 or 53? Obviously, the flag is going to change. So let's just move on. All right. I hope you enjoyed Ramblings of a Short, Fat, Bald Guy. See ya.